Hey everyone, Dredgen here, and today we are taking a look at the Drop Alt high profile keyboard. Since this keyboard has been in the market for a couple of years already and is quite popular, I will not go over the specs and other details of the keyboard and instead focus on what I think about the keyboard, how it is currently positioned in the market, and whether I think you should buy it with its $230 price tag. I will also show how I modded the Drop Alt and of course do some sound tests. So the Drop Alt is a full aluminum, 65%, hot swap, north facing, QMK compatible keyboard that has an integrated plate and plate mount stabs. I don't think anything significant has changed in the years since its release, except for the fact that they now have different case colors. The PCB is now even sold separately, so you can buy the case and the PCB and assemble your own keyboard. Okay, so what do I like about the Drop Alt? First, its design and layout. As I've said multiple times in other videos, the 65% layout is my favorite, and I prefer to have the blocker beside the arrow key. Some don't like it, but I do. However, the main draw of the Drop Alt is the RGB strip in between the top and the middle case. You also get perky RGB, and as someone who really likes a light show on my desk, I think that this is still one of the best RGB implementations I've seen on a pre-built keyboard. It's not perfect though. The LED is not diffused enough, but I honestly don't mind it. The case is also gorgeous. It's anodized and the finish looks really nice. I've probably purchased 4 Drop Alt keyboards due to various reasons, and the metalwork on these have always been top-notch. The second thing that I like are the 2 USB Type-C sockets. So you can choose where to plug in your cable, and you can also use the other one as a USB pass-through. And that's it. That's all I like. Basically, I just like how it looks, and at least for me, that's enough reason for me to buy it. So, what are the things that are just okay? Well, first, the keycaps. This will depend on what you want for your keycaps. If you want backlit keycaps, the Skylight series here are probably one of the best on the market. However, they don't feel as good to type on compared to aftermarket PBT or ABS keycaps. I would suggest you get the bare bones edition if you want to save a little. Number 2, the mounting system here is an integrated plate. It's okay, a bit better than tray mount and of course stiffer than gasket mount, but for $200, integrated plate mount is okay. Going to the things that I don't like, and this keyboard has a lot of things that need improvement that I think you should consider before you buy it. To me, the biggest problem with this keyboard is the PCB. 1. The hot swap sockets here are 3 pins and north facing. This is where this keyboard shows its age. This would have been okay during its release a couple of years ago, but right now, almost every hot swap keyboard in the market has 5 pins. This means that if you have a 5-pin switch, which is majority of the switches in the market, you would need to clip it. It also has north-facing LEDs, so it will be difficult for you to use cherry profile keycaps like GMK on this keyboard. North facing is okay for budget keyboards, but if you are spending $230 to buy one, I'm guessing you want to dive into the enthusiast keyboard scene, and being unable to use one of the most popular keycap profiles is a big handicap. This was done to prioritize backlight RGB on the keycaps, but I personally prefer having the choice to use cherry keycaps. The second thing that I really hate is this keyboard needs so much power. If you use a cable that connects to a hub like I do, it will not turn on, or the LED will be very dim like in the case for this custom coiled cable that I use. Third thing, the stabs are bad. Really bad. You can definitely mod these, but I recommend that you replace it. The stabs are also plate mount and they can be difficult to work with. PCB mount stabs are generally better, but these are more convenient since you can remove these without opening up the keyboard. Here's how the stock keyboard sounds. As you heard, it sounds very bad out of the box, and this is one of the things that I would want you to think about before buying this keyboard. Don't buy the Drop Alt if you're not planning to mod the keyboard. This keyboard needs to be modded for you to get the most out of it. I recommend that you replace the stabs and at least have lube switches for the best typing experience. So for this review, I will do a build on the Drop Alt High Profile to see how this keyboard performs when customized. The supplies that I will use here were sent by channel sponsor Scion Studios. They are an official vendor for Asia for the keyboard brands you see on screen, and they have a ton of keyboard supplies on their store. The switches here are the C3 Fierce Girls, and for a small fee, you can have your switches lubed or filmed. They also have a couple of group buys that are currently ongoing, and the one that I am very excited about is the EK68 Aurora group buy. So for those of you who have not heard, this is another entry edition keyboard much like the NK65, the Portico, and the Kara. It is a polycarbonate gasket mount 65% keyboard. What got me excited here is that this one is fully customizable. You can customize the layout, the gaskets, the plate, the badge, and it even has a wireless Bluetooth option. On paper, this keyboard is the most feature-packed among the entry editions that are coming out, and I can't wait to get my hands on it to test. I have already placed an order for the wireless mint colorway, and I'm really happy that I can now join group buys here in the Philippines without paying a ton for shipping and taxes. In addition to that, Scion Studios is also sponsoring a giveaway on the channel. We will be giving out $40 worth of store credit, so you can choose what item you want to buy. You can use it as a discount for your EK68 pre-order if you want to. I will have a pinned comment for the giveaway mechanics. Okay, so going back to the build, for this one I am using Scion Studios plate mount stabs, C3 Fierce Girl switches, which is basically an alpaca recolor, and MT3 Dev TTY keycaps. Unfortunately, since the switches are 5 pins, you would need to clip it before putting it on the board. Here's how it sounds. So as you heard, it actually sounds quite nice when modded. I was actually prepared to put in some foam since I was expecting it to sound a bit hollow, but it was okay without it. I will probably do that in the future, but for now, I am quite happy with this build. The switches are a bit too light for me though, and I made a lot of mistakes on the typing test due to the light switches and the new profile. the MT3 keycaps look really good on the alt. The curves of the keycaps match well with the case. To summarize, it's 2021. Should you buy this keyboard? Well, I think it depends. If you really like the way this keyboard looks and you are willing to mod this keyboard and work around its shortcomings, I would say it is still a good buy, though try to wait for sales from drop or try to buy the bare bones edition. If you want a good typing experience, you may want to look somewhere else. $230 can buy a lot in the market right now, but the only one that comes close in capturing this design in that RGB flare is the iDobao 67. I have pre-ordered this one from Drop for $140 and I will be reviewing it once it arrives. It looks okay, though it is also north-facing, so that bumps me out a bit. Looking at the other aluminum options, you can buy an aluminum NK65 for around $200 and you should have a better typing experience. If you want to customize your build fully, you can build a Tofu 60 or 65. A full kit of that will probably also be around $200+. However, depending on your taste, you may find the design on the Tofu or the NK65 classy or a bit too simple. In the end, like a lot of things in this hobby, it still comes down to preference and that is something for you to decide. And that's it for this video. If you enjoyed watching this one, please consider subscribing and I hope I have helped you in deciding whether this is the keyboard for you. See you in the next one. Bye!